Good morning, Dubai. Our top stories. Petrol prices in the EU have decreased.
We'll also be talking about this. Dubai residents' TEDx talk has reached over 21 million views.
There was a light civil aircraft crash outside Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque.
And it is Lovin Dubai's 7th birthday, so we will be talking about that as well.
And do stay tuned because we have all things Asia Cup. We have scoops with Rohit Bharti. But before we get into all that, Sarah mentioned, this is why we are celebrating. This is why we've come to work in our bow ties today. It's not black tie. It's our little nod to a celebration. We turned 7.
Let's clink to that. Clink.
Clink. Happy 7th birthday, Sabrina.
Thank you. Happy 7th birthday to you.
We're going to have Cake on the show. We're going to have Rich to come in and just take us down memory lane a little bit, which is super duper cool. But 7 years. I think when we were just having a little chat yesterday, the conversation was like, we never thought we'd get this far.
No, I feel like
challenges.
I think every company organization has its challenges and like every, setbacks, and you think like, is it worth it? Is it not? But I think it's come such a long way for us to start like literally 7 years ago, and how far we've come. It's incredible.
And watching Dubai for 7 years has been like literally amazing. But the cool thing is we're going to have Rich on the show, who is our CEO, and he's going to talk through, I think, a little bit more in depth about the company. But I wanted to like just quickly say it's obviously been so cool covering Dubai over the last 7 years, and like if we had any favorite moments, and if you guys have any favorite stories that we've covered in the last 7 years that we could just like give a little shout out on our dear birthday.
What is your favorite story that we've covered?
So, I mean, it's like obviously there's been like a million world records, and there's been like, like the openings of the new places, like when Museum of the Future opened. That's always been super cool. But my favorite story has been kind of like, and I think this is an ongoing saga, because we always talk about like the community doing good deeds. And like even today, someone has DM'd us about, someone helping an old lady cross the road. So we're going to post it on Instagram a little bit, so stay tuned. But this good deed stuff, I do think that it's like so unique to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I feel, and I know you guys feel it too, it started like when we started sharing the stories of, for example, the 3 guys who saved that cat in Karama about 3 years ago. And the sign of Sheikh Mohammed, he saw it, and those 3 guys got 50,000 dirham each. And since then, the stories of good deeds have just like multiplied again and again and again and again and again. So we have like, people saving cats from trees, people saving cats from roads, people moving concrete blocks from the side, and some of them are getting recognition from the rulers. Exactly. And it's just this like revolving story. And then obviously we had the guy like pulling the rock from
the faux removal of the rock. Like,
was it real? Was it not? I don't know. But it's like this guy standing on one side of the road, and he's like
waiting for the camera to turn on so he can remove the block.
But he's helping out. He's helping society. And I love it. So it's like this like revolving story of good deeds that's so unique to Dubai.
For sure.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, a domino effect of good stuff. And I think the page, it's just amazing. Like honestly, Rich set the ball rolling, and always, make sure that just the most positive stories get rolled out. And that's the thing, it just makes Dubai such a positive place. I feel our page, like, I know we're running and it's like, oh my God, you're just sweet talking your own stuff, but it is what it is, a very sweet page. And I think my favorite story is like when we covered onion shaped like Burj Khalifa. It was like, I will never forget it. It was so unique.
It's so unique. And it was a divisive story, guys. Why do you not want to see the onion that's shaped like Burj Khalifa? It's amazing.
Like toenail shape, anything shaped like Burj Khalifa, we will cover it.
But I think that's such a good representation, because how do you decide what news to cover? And it's always a story that it's a question that all publications ask themselves. And for us, as long as it's relevant to Dubai, then we think it's relevant. So if we think our audience will either engage with it, if it's like if it's informative, it's an emotive story, and an onion shaped like the Burj Khalifa, you just don't get that anywhere else. So it's one of my favorite stories too.
Yeah, incredible. But yeah, we'll move on with our first story for today morning.
Which, by the way, has got to be some of your favorite story. This is big news. Petrol prices in the UAE have decreased. This is the news you've been waiting for, the monthly fuel price announcement. So September 2022, the fuel prices were released by the UAE Fuel Price Follow-Up Committee, as they do at the start of every month, and they have dropped significantly. So we're here for it. Super 98 petrol costs $3.41 a litre, down from $4.03 from last month.
Ooh, and Special 95 now stands at 3.30 per litre, down from 3.92 dirhams. While E Plus 91 costs 3.22 dirhams, down from 3.84 in August, and diesel costs 3.87, down from 4.14. And this is incredible because we never thought we'd see these prices again. 3 dirhams.
Big drops, guys. Big drops.
3 dirhams. You guys.
I don't know what you're getting, but can I just say, yesterday, went to get fuel.
Yeah.
Used Cafu, so it's you choose the time. And there was like a 7-hour wait, which I'm fine with. However, usually they're on the ball. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, it's like traffic. I was like, why is there a 7-hour wait for them to come?
Then you realize it's the end of the month.
I realized when the new fuel prices came in, it's because it's the end of the month that everyone was trying to get in case the prices went up.
Yeah.
The price went down.
So did you get it after 12 or before 12?
Before.
Ooh. That one's gotta hurt.
It did hurt. It did hurt. I was like, oh, but it's fine. I mean, it's good news. Prices are decreasing. And I think that's the news you want at the beginning of September when you know you're going to be sitting in your car a little bit more than usual.
Exactly, with school starting and of course the weather getting better, so you want to pack in the long drive. So I feel like this month is the month to overuse your car like crazy, and then from next month just go easy. Yeah?
Why not?
Why not? Now, this next topic is quite interesting. It's all about making conversation, and this Dubai residents TEDx talk on 7 ways to make a conversation has bagged over 21 million views. Now, talking to strangers can be the most intimidating things of all, and especially if you see yourself as somewhat of an introvert. So racking your brain for a topic of discussion, a question, common factor, all those things. And that too, at the same time, you have to be aware of not saying something offensive or controversial. So initiating a conversation doesn't come easy to all.
No, it certainly doesn't. And as a wise man once said, communication is the fabric that holds the society together, which is true for sure. So, your basic trait to network, talk, and build relations based on words and speech. And who better to get the conversation tips than from a radio jockey?
Exactly. So, which is why Malvika Vardhan's TEDx talk on 7 ways to make a conversation with anyone at Bits Pilani Dubai back in 2016 bagged over 21 million views on YouTube alone. And Malvika Vardhan is the managing director of The Hive, and she's the ex-radio presenter for City 1016 at Arabian Radio Network, which is ARN. Of course, the UAE's biggest radio network. And in a nutshell, here are the 7 conversation hacks that the RJ extraordinaire shed out. So first being that the first word you say is a floodgate. So put your ego aside, greet people, hi, hello, good morning, remember me. So just take that first step. 2, skip the small talk, ask an open-ended question.
I like that a lot because I think starting conversation with new people is scary, especially if you're in a social situation, if you're in a new office, a different environment, and you're thinking, how can I build a relationship? How do you even start? And basic, hi, hello.
Yeah, go
good
up
morning.
to the person, exactly.
Or when you're walking past, smile and say hi. That is literally the opener.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. Also, she went on to say, me too, make the person feel that you have similarities, or pay a unique compliment.
Let's
Simran.
give you an example. It will take you some time.
No, I've got so many. Okay, Simran, your bow tie matches your shirt. Did you plan it?
No, I didn't. And I feel like I look like a waitress. I'm just going to take it off. I mean, nothing wrong, but I'm just Did you break it?
Yeah.
You broke the bow tie?
The bow tie.
Casey, but it's fine. You pulled it off with grace.
Thank you for that unique compliment. Ask them for their opinion. Simran, what do you think of my broken bow tie?
I think it was good while it lasted. It wasn't meant to, these things break off, so it wasn't your fault at all. And I feel like just you went with the flow really well. So it speaks a lot about your character.
Thank you. My finger hurts a little bit.
Oh no.
And this one I really, really love. Be present.
Yeah. Let's give another example. Hey Casey, how's life?
Simran, I really want to talk to you about this thing that happened yesterday.
Tell me.
So, we went to the store and there was these chips there, and I noticed that the chips were salty, and I have a thing with salt, it's getting in my gut.
That
and I just feel like the more salt that I eat, the more it's
that sucks.
I really try to talk to you about this salty gut thing that I'm going through. It's a daily thing.
So when is it getting over?
About it.
When are you going to the doctor?
She's really good at that. but 100%, I actually find that my attention span for conversations is less than it used to be. I'll be in a conversation, I'll be thinking of other things going back in my mind.
Good to know.
Yeah, but do you feel like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really given it much thought because I'm always distracted.
Never had time for that thought. But I don't think that I used to do this, but you'll be in a conversation and your mind is in 3 other places, and then I'm like, I need to physically bring myself back to this conversation. And I just wonder if it's because of phones, and it's because our mind is so used to flitting between, when you scroll Instagram feed, you're looking at happy news, sad news, then you're immediately onto this dress that you want to buy, and then you're seeing this fast car, and your mind moves so quickly because of the internet that now when I'm in a conversation, I find it very hard to focus on that one topic.
That's so true. But that's where the skill comes in. You just need to learn to be present and a good listener, and not make it all about yourself. If someone's telling you something, listen, actively listen to them.
What I think about.
There she does it again. And then the last tip: names, places, animals, things make people feel special by addressing and remembering significant details. The dramapreneur Malvika also concluded her talk by giving the analogy that everyone is a book. So whether you dive right into their stories or just stop to look at their, the titles on their hardbound copies is completely up to you.
And you can get all of that on the TEDx talk, which you'll find on YouTube. And a massive shout out to her. 21 million views is incredible. And there's some good info there if you want to start conversation building.
Exactly. And our next story, so a light civil aircraft crashes outside Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. Now, the General Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA, in coordination with the competent authorities, announced a Cessna light civil flight engine fixed wing aircraft crashed in the outdoor parking lots of Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque due to a technical malfunction, and competent teams immediately rushed to the crash site.
In a statement, the GCAA said that preliminary investigation showed that the accident was caused by a technical malfunction while the amateur-built plane was headed to land at Al Bateen Executive Airport and crashed in an unpopulated area. As a result of the accident, the pilot was injured and rushed to the hospital for necessary treatment and monitoring.
Now, all concerned teams, including the National Search and Rescue Center, the General Command of Abu Dhabi Police, and GCAA, coordinated to secure the crash site, and concerned authorities affirmed that the safety of the civilians is their top priority. Now, GCAA said that it will be continuing investigations, and just to find the cause and the consequences of the incident, authorities urged the public to obtain information from official sources only and to avoid spreading rumors, and that's so important.
Which is always the case. Okay, guys, we're going to jump in. If you want the lowdown on all of the Asia Cup scoops, we're going to get to that later in the show. We have Rohit from Tiding Official who's going to join us. But before we get into all of that, we have a special segment coming up. We do turn 7 today. 7 years in the business. And thanks to that, we have our CEO, Richard Fitzgerald, joining us on the show very, very shortly. So stay tuned.
Instagram, stay on.
So Hi guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. It is our birthday, it's our 7th birthday, and thanks to that we're going to be joined by Richard Fitzgerald, who's CEO of Augustus Media, which is Lovin Dubai's parent company. Hi Rich.
Casey Simran, hi, morning.
We have this for you. We have hummus cake. Woo! You want to do it, blow it out?
Woo! Just because
Happy hummus cake, Simran.
of hummus we love, Lovin Dubai.
For hummus, in hummus we trust.
In hummus we trust.
How many hummus memes have we had over the years?
You know, we've actually stopped recently.
Why?
Why? The meme queen is right here.
And you know,
Are we eating?
do you think
Yeah,
Lovin
sure.
Dubai has evolved in the same way as hummus?
Evolved as hummus, different flavors.
Does hummus evolve? It does. Or is it just the true kind of base, brilliant?
7 years ago, could you get red pepper hummus? Could you get chocolate hummus? Could you get beetroot hummus?
She's right.
I think beetroot hummus was the first one that snuck on those kind of nice breakfast menus. And then that was maybe like 5.5 years ago.
Yeah, so
And then like 4.5 years ago, something changed.
But like you said, the base is the same, like Lovin Dubai, but the flavors keep changing.
Yeah.
can you consume Lovin Dubai in the same way that you consume hummus?
Yeah.
By the vat with a big spoon.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you can. I guess it's as reliable now, isn't it? With you girls creating safe content every day.
Woo! So for those of people who don't know, Lovin Dubai is 7 years old.
Yeah.
And we did not start in this studio.
We didn't. We actually have had how many offices? 4 in Dubai.
Wow.
And now 4 different offices. Astrolabs, 3 in JLT, and then now in Dubai Production City.
And Astrolabs was a co-working space
Yeah.
where you had 2 desks.
Yeah, we had 2 desks and then to 5. Shout out to the guys there at Astrolabs. Everyone was really helpful at the start.
Yeah.
And yeah, loads of startups there, JLT. I just caught up with Ahmed bin Salem at DMCC, and he really didn't want us to leave. He's like, really wanted a media company in JLT, so they were really supportive. But yeah, you know, every stage that we went, it was like you had to leave Astrolabs if you had more than 5 visas. And then the only office we could afford was kind of a shoebox. It was like 800 square feet. Do you remember it? Did you intern there?
No, not the shoebox one.
No.
The next one.
I mean, it wasn't a shoebox. I remember walking in the first time and there was like these glass partitions. I was like, this is cool.
Oh.
Yeah, there was some nice features in it, but it was 800 square foot, and like technically, I don't know if people know the rules about visas and size of offices, but it's kind of for every 100 square foot you kind of have 1 visa or so. So we can only really have, I think 8, but I think there you could have 10 visas. And you know, if other people were in, we were on top of each other by the time we left. And then we went to a place with 2,000 square feet. We thought, this is massive, because it was over double the size of the last place. That was in January 2019. And I remember thinking, right guys, like it's nice because it had these cool views. Remember Lovin Dubai show, and it was on the top floor.
Everyone came in and was like, this is a sick view. I was like, sick view, elevator, not so much.
Not so much, yeah. Typical, yeah. But like our standard Dubai elevator stuff.
You'll take the view though.
Yeah. And then, but we were like, now it's nice to be in here. So it was 10 people in a space for double, and I felt like, we're, you know. But the goal then was to outgrow that place, and then we came in here 3 years later, January 2022. And this is space for like 60 people, but we're 25 people here. But we're 63 people in other offices. Yeah, come join. Casey's recruiting. Yeah.
There's loads of space. I find it hard to find people these days.
We need.
We need more people.
Was this office, your own office, always your vision? Because it wasn't always easy, you know, with Augustus, Lovin Dubai. It was like we had so many hurdles, especially you. So how was it like to keep that vision strong? And did you always want your own office?
Yeah, you know, you guys, everyone talks about manifesting and stuff like that, but like at every stage when I remember driving around JLT and looking up all these tall buildings, and I was like, why don't we have one of those offices? You know, when we were just in the co-working space, and we didn't make, like, we struggled at the start, business-wise. We had a big audience, luckily, alhamdulillah, at the very start, but we couldn't generate a business out of it. Media was really hard. And I was like, why can't we just have a normal office? And then when we had a normal office, I was kind of like, you know, then I would drive from Sports City into JLT, and I'd drive by in 5 Media in those buildings, and I was like, we need to have our own building. we need to have our own studios. And every day I constantly say, right, well, how do I make this happen? How do I make this happen? How do I make this happen? That's 3-4 years build up. You know, it takes time.
Yeah.
So if you're watching right now, you probably know Lovin Dubai. So thank you for tuning in every morning if you do. Massive shout out to you. But Lovin Dubai became one of many, many things that goes on in this office at a certain point. So what people may not be aware of is that we've got like sister websites, and that we're like creating content in Saudi, in Arabic, that's like smashing. That's actually beating Lovin Dubai, which kills me every day. But you know, there are co-workers, so it's
bigger
fine.
Country, Casey, yeah.
Still. So give people a rundown of what actually is Augustus Media rather than just Lovin.
Yeah, well, I think Lovin Dubai is Augustus Media in many ways, because it does everything that a modern media company wants to do, right? Like it's very digital. Like we don't do events, we don't do print, we don't do radio, TV, or newspapers, right? So yeah, we're still a media company. How is that possible? It's possible because of our phones, really, and digital. So and then everything else, you know, Lovin, we want to keep as the kind of horizontal. Lovin Dubai is the focus. There's now 15 other Lovin cities across the Middle East and North Africa. Shout out to in Pakistan, we've got Lovin Islu, Lovin Lahore, Lovin Karachi. In Sudan, most recent one, Lovin Khartoum. And the first one after Lovin Dubai was Lovin Saudi, which has evolved into Lovin Saudi, Balarabi and Green. But then the rest are red and English mainly. And in UAE, we have 4 of the 7 Emirates, Lovin Ras Al Khaimah, Lovin Sharjah, Lovin Abu Dhabi. And in Saudi, there's 13 regions in Saudi. So it's hard to kind of do 13 websites and all the socials that go with it and everything. But they're all on one app, the Lovin app. But then in Saudi, you've got Lovin Sharjah, which covers the eastern province. So Khobar, Daman, Tehran, all over there near Bahrain. We also have Lovin Bahrain. And then, so that's the eastern province. And then we have Lovin Riyadh, obviously, Lovin Jeddah, and Lovin Neom, the future digital city. And then Lovin Doha, it's a new one. And shout out to our Augustus Mr. team in Egypt, in Giza. We have Lovin Cairo.
So go follow all of those pages right now. And if you take a screenshot of following every single one of those pages and you're the first person to do it, we will send you something.
Yeah.
I have something.
Yeah, we
have something back right. If you can send me a screenshot of following all of our cities, the first person to do it will get something from our office. If you're based in Dubai. T&Cs apply.
Doing that, I already did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I get something?
Bonus!
Yeah, you work here, Simon.
You know what though? We don't have a huge amount of time today, but I don't know. Like from where we're sitting now, I feel very grateful for how cool this office is and how much we've grown. But obviously, you mentioned it hasn't always been easy.
Yeah.
Tell us, like, from what you've done and from Lovin Dubai, tell us something that was not easy. Tell us like the hard part that you struggled with that we've.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things. Like you think that media is going to be. You think that the challenges of doing media in the Middle East are going to be in relation to the guidelines and things like that. But actually, it's very much to do with sort of daily life. And one of the things that we faced once upon a time was we wrote something that an individual didn't like, and there was a legal case, and it was quite like, we didn't know that we'd done wrong because it would have been okay elsewhere per se, and there was circumstances around that. But what was scary for me was 7 females, for some reason, in the office and in the company were dragged into the police station and interrogated and questioned without me knowing why, and without us knowing why. And that's really scary. Like, it's okay if you take the risk as an entrepreneur and you can try and deal with that and the stress of it. But when there's people, when you're putting people at risk in just who are going about their job for that reason, that's quite scary, and that's tough. It's tough to deal with that. But that was a long time ago, and again, alhamdulillah, we've learned from that. We put in the right procedures. You get different indemnity insurances. You work with different entities. You understand regulations in different ways. You create manifestos. You do lots of things, right? It's like it's like any business. What are the mistakes that you make at the start? If you own a restaurant, you might buy too much hummus, and it might go off. But like there might be mistakes that you make that you learn from. But unfortunately, with media, you're playing with fire in some ways, right? Like because there's legal ramifications. Like you can end up in jail, you can be deported, you can do all this sort of stuff. Like what's the worst that can happen if you order too much hummus? In a restaurant.
Yeah. What's the
You can't get sued for food poisoning, but media, there is a risk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could someone overdose on hummus?
We will ask Casey.
That's not encouraging. Ask Casey.
As per my research, no.
Is that Google research or actually eating research?
Obviously, the vats of Spinneys red pepper hummus, it's an ongoing thing. Because, when you buy it on, is it Gibson's, you can't just get little tubs, you have to buy it by the kg.
You have to.
Do you think hummus should have a warning sticker on it like cigarettes and sugary products have?
No, because the thing is, I classify this as a healthy food, so it's fine.
Okay.
Finishing up, anything else we want to check with Rich while we have him on the show?
Okay. Yes, I do want to check on a couple of things, but that I'll ask you afterwards. But one thing, what is the future of Lovin Dubai? What do you envision for this?
What do you envision it, Simran? What would you like it to be?
Okay. What do I envision? Like all of us in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then we can do the show from home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
That's the thing. Why not? Let's make it happen.
Lovin Dubai in the metaverse?
Lovin Dubai in the metaverse.
Okay.
Yeah. Done.
No, but other than that, what do you see?
No, I think let's go with how the city evolves, and let's go with how digital evolves. Like, I think we're definitely going to keep doing digital. We're definitely going to keep hiring young, talented, like both of you, media graduates, journalists, journalism degrees, and luckily there's universities in Dubai. There's Hamad bin Rashid University in AUD. There's a School for Education and Media in AUD. And there's lots of other universities here. There's lots of graduates. We see them all the time. And having this space, some of them come on tours here. Some of the schools come on tours here as well. So providing vocation and jobs for those people, and they'll decide where it goes, I'm getting old.
No. That means we're getting old.
Casey said no, and you kind of started laughing. Okay,
I prefer it. Simran's like, no!
It was much later.
Oh. But yeah, Burj Khalifa is also the dream for us.
Yeah. What do you mean?
LD.
Oh yeah, Lovin Dubai on Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
Well, Dubai Tourism put Lovin Dubai on Sheikh Zayed Road as a billboard for one of the food festivals. So like stuff like that, cool companies like that have helped us as well. But it's not all about Lovin Dubai really. Like I think it's nice that the brand has taken a shape and that people know it. But really, it's down to the community. Like, if people really saw what our inboxes were like, if they really got a flavor of it, like, it's just crazy. Like, isn't it? Like the amount of community out there, the amount of stories, the amount of positive things. Like, we're really grateful to everyone who follows and reads. And yeah, look, sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes, publishing fast in digital is hard. But we're embracing it, and we're trying to design a team and a company around it. And so thanks for everyone for all the stuff that you share.
Well, we're 7, and speaking of DMs being packed, no doubt it's going to be packed this weekend again. The Asia Cup is ongoing, and now we're going to be joined by Rohit Bari, who is the founder of Tiddy. He's talking all things Asia Cup scoops. He's going to be with us right after this. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, guys.
Woo!
And welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. We are officially in game season. What better way to kick it off than with the Asia Cup 2022? The cricket community is non-stop buzzing. There's been a lot to take in, to be aware of, and especially if you're attending the matches. Today, with us, we have Rohit Bharti from Tiding to give you the 411 on Asia World Cup. Welcome to the show, Rosie. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you so much. And first of all, happy birthday to you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Where's the cake?
Hummus Cake. We'll give you after the show. But
I saw it
Rohit,
already.
welcome. You're doing such an amazing job with Asia Cup 2020. So I have to say, like, the matches, like the last one that I was really involved in was the India versus Pakistan, where I was like just watching, and everything was so positive about that match.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of that positivity comes from the content that's being created around Asia Cup 2020. And you guys have everything to do with that because you guys have officially partnered up with them. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so what happened was, Tiding is, we are just a content page. We like to create Dubai-based content, UAE-based content per se. Before Asia Cup started, just 2-3 days before the series started, Dubai Stadium approached us and they said, we like the content that you are doing. We want you to do the same thing, but inside the stadium. So find out human interest stories, find out something that no TV or no production will cover or might miss out because these are smaller stories. So we went out, and luckily, because my face, I'm like, I think I'm a representation of the South Asian community in Dubai in a way. So luckily people recognize me, and then it's easy for me to get stories out of them. Also because I speak their language. I can speak Hindi, I can speak Marathi, I can understand a bit of Bengali, I can speak a bit of Gujarati, and quite a few things. So it becomes easy. So when they contacted us, we were super happy. And when we started producing content, the first one, the biggest one being the India-Pakistan rivalry. Now the history is such that India-Pakistan rivalry is seen as, oh my God, they're going to fight and all of that. But now in 2022, it has changed. It's all love and peace and all of that.
And is that what you're seeing at the stadium? Tell us what are the actual moments you're having with people that you meet at the matches?
So what is happening is that the first shock that even we got was that both these sides are so happy to be with each other, and they're not coming separately. So India and Pakistan are friends in general as well here. Like I have a Pakistani friend who's my partner in Tiding. So like we'll go to watch the match together. He's wearing his Pakistani jersey, I'm wearing my Indian jersey. So it's very, very common. It's very normal. So for content, I'm trying to create a divide. I'm like, okay, you represent Pakistan. Like, no, I don't want to. So I'm genuinely seeing that love and peace amongst both the countries, and therefore the content that you are seeing, that you would have seen, few things we covered. Like we covered an uncle called Chacha Chicago. So Chacha is uncle.
Okay.
So we covered him. He's a Pakistani who moved to Chicago in '77, and now he sponsors tickets of 2 of his Indian friends who are not making that much money from India, and all 3 of them watch every India-Pakistan match together since 2011. And I was like, how do people not know this?
How did you find it?
So it was lucky. That's what. So me and Mehek, my wife, she's my producer.
Shout out Mehek.
She's my everything. So because of her, I've been creating content since 2016, Tiding in UAE. But I've just been a content person. I'm not a strategist and all of that. And Mehek understands all of that. She's from, I don't know, maybe London, and that's why she gets that learning. So she got me into all of this. So we go around and we try and find out stories. So we sit with them. Like we saw him sipping a karak, Chacha. And I went and I spoke with him, I told him, your jersey looks great. So like, Rohit, blah, blah, blah. And he started like, hold on, man, come.
Wow.
Let's start. And that's what we've been doing so far, trying to find as many as interesting. Like yesterday, the match was literally like David versus Goliath. India was playing Hong Kong. Okay, everyone knew India's gonna win, obviously. Like that's how big India is, or Hong Kong. Yeah, they're very good. Hong Kong is probably like the 40th or the 50th in total.
The underdog. We must give some
the underdog, right? The underdog. And I was very happy, and that's why we were trying to spot Hong Kong fans. So we found 5 fans in total. Out of the stadium, there were 13,000 people yesterday. Out of them, there were 5 fans we found, at least when we found out. So we went there, and what the lucky thing that the content that we got is the person who took KL Rahul's wicket. KL Rahul is the opener for India. Who took his wicket? We saw his father sitting right there, and we captured the moment that his son took the wicket of KL Rahul, and we captured that live. And we were so happy that we were able to, cover that kind of stories. So we are happy that we are able to bring these things to the table that in general TV wouldn't. Either they wouldn't or they would miss out because, again, if I go with a huge camera in the audience, people will be like a little bit, they might not speak. But here we're just going around with the phone, a small mic, and I'm talking to them in their own language. So it becomes very, very easy for them to talk to me.
That's incredible. Now you're seeing this shift, like TV is one platform, but now reels are going viral, stories are going viral. So you're seeing all of that. So that's why you're able to go ahead and make this content.
Yes.
But I have to say, like, rivalries are mostly what you see on media. But now media being so positive, it's how what you're bringing to the table and how you're changing the whole, perception of the games and perception of people. So Tiding is a very humorous, positive, funny platform, like meme page, right?
Yeah,
so what does Tidings bring to the Asia Cup 2020? Like, how do you add your flavor?
So they literally, when they hired us, what they said, we want you to do Tiding in the content. I was like, okay, is that a verb now? You want to do Tiding? So they want us to bring in happy stories or create content around it. For example, as we said, so I got Indian and Pakistani fans outside the stadium. I held them off. I was like, let's not talk about cricket, let's do something else. So what I did, for example, Indian movies are quite famous across the world. Pakistani songs are quite famous across the world, okay, between the South Asian communities. So I put 5 Pakistanis here, 5 Indians here, and I gave 5, Indian movie scenes, and I told them you have to complete that dialogue. Okay, and to the Pakistani side, I gave to the Indian side, I gave them half the song, and all of them got all 5 right.
Oh,
so we are bringing, and that are like 3 million hits in 2 days.
Wow.
And so Dubai Stadium is also pretty happy, and no, I can't reveal. They're already talking to us potentially because they've just seen in 4 days what we were able to do.
So a couple of million views on that, is that representative of because there's such a massive majority of Indian Pakistanis in Dubai, or how is the content for the rest of the Asia Cup going? Obviously, we have Sri Lanka, we have Afghanistan. How's the content of those matches?
So far there have been just 3 to 4 matches, and it has been great. Now, for example, when you talk about Asia Cup where we are, everyone is saying India and Pakistan are going to be in the finals. They're like, the whole Asia Cup is happening because they will bring the eyeballs, the number of followers, they will bring the money and the eyeballs everywhere. But this year, Afghanistan is a dark horse. Afghanistan looks so powerful so far that it might even, I shouldn't say this, it might even beat Pakistan and India.
That's how strong they look. Who do you predict is going to win Asia Cup 2020?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going to side with India. I'm going to bias. But if...
Do you genuinely... look, let's pretend no one's watching, okay? We're here. We're in a very, from
India.
If you had absolutely no bias.
India.
Absolutely no bias.
Do you genuinely think India's going to win?
On paper, I have to say India is the strongest. In form, I will say Afghanistan. In form, I don't know whether they have the capacity to beat both of these strong teams. And again, I'm saying on paper, it's going to be India.
On paper, it's going to be India. Okay.
I have a feeling.
Do we have anyone? Let's get the
What do we know about
match? Who do you guys think is going to win the Asian Cup?
Match fixing. What is the lowdown on that? Are you seeing
that generally that doesn't happen. ICC is extremely strict. So in the stadium, there's an entire office of anti-corruption code.
So
and they are constantly roaming around. One small talk also they will catch you right there and then. Nothing happens of this sort.
Match fixing.
Nothing happens of this sort. Nothing.
Okay, that's so interesting.
ICC is extremely strict because we are tied up with the ICC Academy also. So we get to see the insides of where the team is sitting, where the officials are sitting. They have an entire office literally just for this anti-corruption.
So you're getting that. So for us, Simran is going to the match on Sunday. She got a ticket, but getting a ticket is gold dust, right?
Yes.
Impossible to get tickets. If you get tickets, you're super, super lucky. But you have the VIP golden ticket. You're getting behind the scenes, even locker rooms. Tell us something that we don't know.
Okay, so here's the trick actually for everybody. It's not only the VIP area or whatever. A lot of people want a picture with their favorite cricketers, right?
Yeah.
Here's a trick, very small trick. Nobody will give you this out.
Okay.
We've got this. So, after a Marvel movie, you wait for the post-credit scene, and there's always a scene, a 10-second scene, a 15-second scene. Okay, like that. If you wait enough after the game is done, the players will come out to warm up again.
Stop it.
They always come out to warm up again, and they are free of media because they have covered everything. They are free of the huge crowd because there's nobody, and the managers don't bother them. So they're roaming around in the stadium. So obviously you're not going to get to touch them or be close to them, but you can still take a good enough step.
Sure.
But why?
So what happens?
Do they come out again?
So what happens after a game is done? Everybody hasn't gotten to play. You know, the squad is of 102 people and only 11 people play. So people are here at the game. They need to warm up. They need to play every day. Yeah. So they will come out. They will warm up after the game is done. So either they're bowling, they're batting, they're doing fielding practice, or they're doing catching practice. But they will be there. Like yesterday, I was able to speak with Rahul Dravid. I was able to shake hands with Irfan Pathan. Like Irfan Pathan is a legendary cricketer. Right now, he's a commentator for one of the production houses in India. So I was able to shake hands with him. I was able to talk to him purely because I waited. Although I'm an official, I can talk to them.
How many other people waited? Like how many other people know this trick?
I think around 50, 60 of the people were there in the entire stadium. But that is still, imagine out of 13,000 people, 50, 60 people waited. That's still a less amount. But this is a trick. I can't guarantee it. I can't guarantee
Well, this weekend, obviously, I think the stadium's going to be full capacity, which is 25 to 30, depending.
Yes.
So we could see a couple of hundred doing the wait following the show.
I am so gonna wait. I don't know which cricketer though, because they're all like, you know, like anyone I'm okay with.
We're not fussy.
What you get to see is also the camaraderie between two teams. Like the last time India versus Pakistan, the match that happened, you saw Virat Kohli signing a jersey for one of the Pakistani players. I don't remember who it was. Was it Rizwan or was it Rauf? One of the bowlers or the wicketkeeper. I saw him signing the jersey. And I saw it with my own eyes. I'm like, they're just 20 people seeing this. This is so legendary.
Yeah.
Like he signed his own jersey and gave it to him. That was so sweet.
Such
that
an
was
iconic
so
moment, and these moments are like growing. I have to say though, by the way, in all of this, my bias leans towards Pakistan. Can I say that?
Yeah, totally.
Of course.
Because if you see India versus Pakistan, the game, India won in the last 3 balls. Just in the last 3 deliveries.
It was very close.
It was a very close game.
Yeah. I don't know anything about cricket, but my sister-in-law is Pakistani, so my bias is going towards Pakistan.
I totally understand.
For a happy life.
I totally understand.
Happy life for your brother, yeah.
Why not?
So, oh man. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you see your steps every day after you finish work? Like how many steps do you complete?
Oh my God. Because we have to do the rounds of the stadium and we have to find out content because it is impossible to spot. For example, we are in the events office. So we're trying to spot, okay, who looks interesting? Have they painted their face? Are there younger, audiences, or are there super old audiences? We try to look. See, otherwise, you generally have to go and talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And that becomes difficult. So we try and spot. And then sometimes you see, okay, that guy looks like he's painted his face all green. He's wearing all green. Let's go and see, interesting content. By the time we go there, by the time we find out, we're like, okay, we're in the wrong stand. So we have to go and find out. So like by the time half the match is done, we're like 10, 15K steps just right there and there.
Luckily, cricket's a long match.
Yeah.
We don't have a huge amount of time, and I've absolutely loved catching up. I love your energy, and I love the stories that you're finding. They're incredible.
Thank you so much.
But one question, Tiding.
Yes.
Where does the name go from? Because I was saying tiding.
Every
time I see it, and somebody was like, nah, that's not it.
The thing is, everyone says that because Tiding doesn't sound like a natural company name or whatever name. So what happens is in 2016, when I was coming up with a name, I was just creating a meme page, I'll be honest. I wanted to create a Dubai-based meme page, something that's happening and everyone can relate to, okay? And then when I started it, it became big. It got 20,000 following just in the first week because some of it went viral. So what happened was I was trying to come up with a proper name. I remember like sleeping on my desk in the night when I was working at home at 4:30 a.m. UAE time, that is 6 a.m. India time. My mom has this weird habit. I think all moms have this. They will send you good morning forward messages. Typical Indian mom, she will send me those good morning hearts, the flowers, and hope it goes well. And not one, at least like 15. Okay? And she sent me those same, like yesterday, day before, but she still send me. I'm like, WhatsApp will ban you. So I'm sleeping and my phone is right here and I wake up to ting, 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 ting. I'm like, oh God. And then it hit me. And then I call up my mom. I'm like, Mom, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mom's like, you awake? I'm like, no, Mom, thank you so much. I quickly go. I get all the handles and the website and everything. So we're just kidding with the sound of a mobile notification. Every time we create a video, you get notified. That's it.
The voice of God.
Genius. Love it. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have time for today. But we're going to be following your content all throughout the Asia Cup. Thank you so much, Rahid, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Casey. Thank you so much.
And we're back with you every single weekday morning. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye.
Goodbye from me as well. And happy birthday once again to Lovin Dubai.